Sally and Billy walk into Chancellor Park as he rants about Adam and Victor. Sally makes faces as he goes on and on. She thinks everyone should give it a break. We can't keep having the same conversation. Victor and Adam are obsessed with him, and he is obsessed with them. No more. Enough is enough. Billy's irked as he thought he was supposed to share his feelings. Sally says having the same conversation repeatedly isn't supportive, it's enabling. Billy's embarrassed. He would love to let go of the things in his head, but he can't do it. Sally can tell. She reminds him they've tried to take him down before, and he's still there. Any power they have over him, he's given them by worrying what they might pull. Billy warns the attack is coming. Sally points out it might not gain any traction. Who's going to believe an attack on a company that doesn't exist yet? Billy argues they'll do damage, and every outlet will pick it up. Sally complains, "Billy, there's so much anger." Billy can't get rid of it, but he wants to. Sally tells him to sit and do exactly as she says. She orders him to take off his shoes and socks so he can touch grass. Billy balks, but gives in. She goes on about the earth being real and directs him to take a deep breath, close his eyes, and listen to the wind. Sally then tells him to push his thoughts of Dumas, Adam, and Victor together like a pile of leaves, and let the wind take them away. He opens his eyes and kisses her. At the overlook, Nick holds Phyllis and tells her, "I got you." She doesn't always have to be so strong. He knows she's afraid if she lets one tear out, it will never stop. He urges her to let it out. Phyllis says, "Stop it." Nick won't do that. "You've got to let it out." He assures her she will be oak. "I'm not going anywhere." She tears up and gasps, "Stop it." He's the only person she knows that she would let talk to her like this. "What would I do without you?" The joke about how boring it would be if they didn't know each other. Nick tells her again that she'll be good. Phyllis knows he'll always be there for her. Nick warns she has to stop stuffing down whatever this is inside her. She has to come to terms with it. They could try coffee and carbs or brainstorming her new venture. They could take Harrison to a movie. Maybe me being around is the thing. I could give you space if that's what you want. Phyllis likes him being there. Nick nods. "Well, then that's where I'm going to be." As she smiles and touches his face, Sharon appears. Sharon asks, "Did we all have the same idea? A morning walk?" Nick says they're just getting fresh air and a look at the view. Sharon notes it's the perfect spot for a private moment she just walked in on. Their conversation looked intense. Nick tells her it was relief. Summer's gone overseas. Sharon thinks Phyllis should take Daniel and Lucy there too. Nick squints as Sharon pushes for Phyllis to get out of town. She tells her how good traveling with Nick was for her. "You need to do this for yourself. Go." Phyllis says she's convinced her she'll go to Milan. Maybe Nick could come. They all laugh awkwardly. More awkward conversation ensues as Phyllis says she was joking. Nick gets a text and Sharon invites him to swing by her place tonight with Christian for lasagna. Nick will get back to her. Phyllis thanks Nick for today. "It really helped her," he says. "My pleasure." He asks if they'll be cool if he takes off. They assure him it will be fine, so he goes. Once alone, Sharon asks Phyllis, "What exactly were you thanking Nick for?" At Society, Devin walks in right after Lily. They're surprised to see each other. Lily says she has a meeting about Aristotle Dumas. Devin got a text too. Nate appears. "That makes all three of us." Lily scoffs that this man is ridiculous. Devin wonders what he's trying to pull and why. As they speculate, a woman walks through the door. It's Amanda Sinclair. Lily asks what she's doing back in town. Amanda couldn't stay away. "How are you guys?" Nate says they're good, just getting ready for a meeting if the person shows up. Amanda says they already have. Devin balks. "You're not about to tell us you're Aristotle Dumas, are you?" Amanda chuckles and remarks, "My goodness, the tone in your voices. Is it that far-fetched that she'd become a brilliant tycoon and corporate raider? Amanda, Aristotle. Isn't it obvious?" Devin argues that the timing doesn't play out. He was hearing about this Dumas person before she left town. She reminds him she was out of town quite a bit. Devin says she was caring for her mom, not launching a new business. He'd have known. Amanda snarks, because we knew each other so well. Devin says she's smart enough to be Dumas, he just doesn't think she had the time. Amanda sarcastically thanks him for acknowledging her abilities. And yes, you're right about the timeline. She isn't Dumas, but she does represent him. I'm here to answer all your questions. Amanda explains she's Dumas' attorney, and he is, in fact, a man. She tells them Dumas recruited her when she was out of work after Jill sold Chancellor and retired. He made her a very strong offer, and she accepted. Lily asks if she's met him. She has. Devin wants her to tell them who he is. He's using an alias, so will she tell them who he is and what he wants with their company? Amanda will make this clear so there's no room for confusion. Aristotle has no interest in Winters. He respects what they've accomplished. Dumas admired Neil very much. He thinks he would be proud. Lily asks why Dumas would say that. Devin asks if he knew Neil. Amanda can't say. Dumas respects many people. Lily knows he's secretly looked into their company. Amanda says he's always wanting to learn and grow from other people's success. Devin still wants to know who he is. Amanda says he is who he claims to be, and that's all anyone needs to know. Devin asks Amanda why he sent her there in person to tell him he's not a threat. She says Dumas thought a friendly face would calm their nerves. Nate wants to know why they should trust any of this. He clearly has something to hide. Amanda can only share the information. Lily asks, what is going on here? She warns the lawyer not to dance around it. Amanda says her boss has only one focus on Genoa City. It's one she thinks will please all of them, especially Lily. Lily asks what she has to do with Dumas' one interest. Amanda tells them Aristotle wants Chancellor Industries. His sense of fair play was offended by what Victor did to Billy. Amanda also tells Lily that she's upset at what Billy did to her. Lily thanks her, but says Billy's not an issue at the moment. Devin asks if Dumas is trying to take Chancellor from Victor. Amanda can't speak to that. Nate says she used to be more direct and upfront. Amanda concludes that Dumas is not interested in Winters. They suspect this could be about getting their guards down so he can move in for the kill. Amanda reminds they used to be friends. She's telling the truth, but they can think what they want. Glancing at Devin's wedding ring, Amanda says Dumas admires all of them for evolving and growing. Lily thinks this all sounds like a snow job. Amanda asks if they've always been this paranoid or if she's just noticing it now. Devin crabs about her ambushing them and advises that they'll keep their eyes open. At the Overlook, Phyllis tells Sharon that asking her what she thanked Nick for is a weird question. Don't you think? Sharon shrugs. She wants to know what she meant. Phyllis says he was just being Nick, cooperative and supportive. Being there for her. Sharon asks what she needed support and help on. Phyllis stammers it was mainly with Billy. They're not working together anymore. Sharon is sorry she lost her job. Phyllis says they just parted ways, but she's going to start something great with Daniel. Sharon tells her how great it is to have Maria working with her at Cassidy First. Phyllis muses, "You are a literal angel, Sharon." Sharon asks, "What will your new business be?" Phyllis says profitable and successful. They're still working on it. Sharon is sure Daniel is grateful. This is a very healthy path to finally moving forward. She gushes that London with Nick was fabulous. She's sure he filled her in on the highlights. Phyllis says he didn't mention it. Sharon tells Phyllis what a treat the trip was and how happy they all were to be together again. Phyllis gets a text from Amanda asking her to meet at Society. She tells Sharon she loved hearing about her trip, but she has to go. Sharon asks, "Who was it?" Phyllis just says, "See you later." At Chancellor Park, Billy tells Sally she is good at calming him and would have been a perfect guest for his podcast. He's not sure how long it will quiet the voices. She suggests they could try something else next time. He quips, "Couples massage." He thanks her again, and they kiss. Just then, Nick happens by. He can't help but stop and ask Billy, "Did you really have to let Phyllis go before she had a chance to prove herself?" Billy says he didn't dump Phyllis, and he's not having this conversation with Nick. He's happy to have Sally working with him. Nick thinks he'd still have room for one more brilliant mind. You know what she has dealt with. He yanked an opportunity away, which is a crappy thing to do as her friend. He knows what it feels like when there's a chance to prove yourself, and it's taken away. He won't let Billy off the hook for giving Phyllis another reason to mourn. Sally tells Billy to put his shoes on. Billy stands up and rants at Nick. Why doesn't he care more about what Phyllis has been through? Nick tells him he cares about her more than he knows. Billy says why can't he see that she's not in a good headspace to take on a huge job? I actually did her a favor. Nick retorts, "Do you even know who Phyllis is? She needs a goal. She needs to feel useful and creative." Billy says she'll get that at the right place and time. Phyllis shows up in time to overhear Nick hollering at Billy that Phyllis has proven herself, and he needs to show her the respect she deserves. At Nate's place, David asks his cousins if they think this is about him. He saw Amanda glance at his wedding ring. Does she want his company for payback? Nate thinks she's more pragmatic than that. Devin asks, "What is it then? She just came all this way to tell them her boss admires them?" For Dumas to send Amanda, of all people, that's a message. Talk turns to Damien, and Nate says he still doesn't love the idea of him playing double agent, but he'll let it play out. Devin isn't sure they should proceed now. Amanda showing up threw him for a loop. The only thing that's clear is that this man knows a hell of a lot more about them than they do about him. Lily fumes, "Well, I have to meet this man. It's time to drag him out of the shadows, and Amanda might be key to making that happen." At Society, Phyllis and Amanda excitedly greet each other. The redhead complains that she didn't text her to say she was coming. "What are you doing here?" Amanda says it's partly because of her. She stuns Phyllis by asking, "Why the hell are you trying to contact Aristotle Dumas?" Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless recap for Monday, May 19, reveals that Sally Spectra will suspect Amanda Sinclair is hiding something. Phyllis Summers will also get rejected, so let's talk about what's coming up in Genoa City. At Society, Phyllis will admit she wants Aristotle Dumas' financial backing now that she's parted ways with Billy Abbott, and plans to start a new venture with Daniel Romalotti Jr. Amanda will warn that it's not happening since Dumas made it clear that he's not interested. Phyllis will think Amanda can help her convince Dumas, but Amanda will insist she already sang Phyllis praises and couldn't sway him. Despite Phyllis' attempts to score a meeting and pitch her ideas in person, Amanda will push her to let this go. Phyllis will offer Dumas intel to help him go after Chancellor, but Amanda will argue that he already knows. It'll definitely seem like Amanda wants to keep Phyllis away from Dumas and out of the mess. At the GCAC, Billy will seem distracted, so Sally will worry that he's feeling guilty for pushing Phyllis out of Abbott Communications. Since Sally blew up a career she loved to enter this partnership with Billy, she'll have concerns about Phyllis worming her way back in the company. Billy will maintain that Sally is the one he's going to take Abbott Communications into the future with. Sally and Billy will ultimately do some brainstorming about the launch party, so they'll settle on a theme that involves a modern push forward while embracing retro roots. Next on Monday's I and Our episode, Amanda will run into Billy and Sally, so they'll all have a tense exchange. After Amanda says she met with Devin Winters, Lily Winters, and Nate Hastings, she'll deliver the news that she's Dumas' attorney. Billy will point out that Dumas' office keeps putting off their meeting, so it's starting to feel like they're stringing him along. Amanda won't have answers for Billy regarding Dumas or Chancellor, but she'll push him to patch things up with Jill Abbott. Once Amanda exits, Sally will tell Billy that she doesn't care for her. Sally will also suggest she'd bet money that Amanda is hiding something, so Billy will acknowledge that this whole situation is getting very suspicious. Back with Phyllis, she'll get Summer Newman on the phone, but Summer will be too busy to talk. After Phyllis contemplates calling Daniel, she'll send Nick Newman a message instead and admit she might take him up on his offer of support. At Nate's place, Damian Kane and Amy Lewis will join Lily, Devin, and Nate. That'll lead to some talk about the details of Damian's new job and his move to Genoa City along with Amy. Devin will ask Damian if he knows who Amanda Sinclair is, but the name won't ring a bell for Damian. After Devin points out that Amanda is Dumas' legal counsel, Damian will suggest Dumas has a lot of employees that he doesn't know about. Even so, Devin will seem suspicious of Damian, suddenly acting like a family man and embracing all this togetherness. In a moment alone with Damian, Lily will assure him that Devin will come around. When Damian wonders if Lily trusts him, she'll suggest she's getting there. Damian will get agitated, but Lily will contend that it was a bad joke and that she indeed trusts him. Once Nate appears nearby, he'll seem pensive as he watches Damian and Lily chatting on the sofa. The Young and the Restless spoilers say there's much more Damian drama to come, so stick with us for updates on all the twists and turns. Young and Restless remains a hot mess. Please see last week's rant, as I'm well past the risk of repeating myself on that topic. Focusing on this week and beyond, Amanda's return brought with it hints that dropped like anvils as to Dumas' real identity. After watching Friday's scenes with Amanda, Devin, Nate, and Lily, I feel 90% sure that Aristotle Dumas is Kane Ashby. Kane's been gone from Genoa City the correct amount of time. He admires Neil, would be happy about Lily, Devin, and Nate working together to take their family business to new heights, and it's believable that he would have recruited Amanda. There are a few questions to be answered, however. The first, where did he get the money to become a tycoon? Kane returned Devin's billions that had been stolen by his father Colin and hidden in the Maldives. But it took a while. Perhaps Kane got his start from the interest the fortune garnered whilst in Colin's account. Second, why would he want to help Billy? It's believable that Kane might be upset about Jill selling Chancellor to Victor, considering his loyalty to Catherine, but it's the part about him reaching out to Billy that gives me pause. Though they did forge a truce at one point, it was Billy that told Lily about Kane kissing Victoria while she was in jail, and that led to the end of his marriage. Kane actually decked Billy for tattling. Moreover, given Kane as Dumas knows everything about the Winters' recent history, he'd know Billy fired Lily. So it's hard to believe he'd want to help him get Chancellor back. It's not impossible. Perhaps he agrees with Victor that his ex-wife is better off at Winters, but we have to consider the idea that perhaps he's setting Billy up. If so, why would Amanda go along with it? She did make a point of saying she didn't like what Billy did to Lily. Finally, Dumas being Kane also explains why he'd allow Lily to be given the false impression that Damien was up to no good, so as to thwart any growing connection between them. But there's another question. Did Dumas/Kane know Damien was linked to Nate when he hired him to run 2 companies? If not, it's quite the coincidence. Do you think Dumas is Kane? Vote. Nothing made me happier this week than how rattled Devin was by Amanda. Sally's meditation for Billy was lovely, but I don't tune into soaps to see characters becoming less dramatic. Sharon and Phyllis seem destined to land back in a triangle with Nick. For all her protestations about not allowing anyone to control her life again after Jordan, Claire's totally allowing Victor to do it. Audra taunted Kyle and pushed his buttons knowing he'd take action that would ultimately blow up his own relationship. Kinda brilliant. Holden's going to be a thorn in her side, though. Storylines gone missing. What's going on with Terea and the big secret? What's going on with Cole? Is he dying or not? Why doesn't Nikki have MS anymore? Oak, we won't dig that deep. Until next week, folks, the Young and the Restless spoilers note Audra Charles is on a mission to make Kyle Abbott look like a bad boyfriend to Claire Newman. If she successfully breaks the two up, she scores a brand new cosmetics company, fully funded by Victor Newman himself. While many fans, including the Moustache, believe the only way that Audra can accomplish this is by seducing Kyle, could she have figured out another way to make Claire want to end things with Kyle that doesn't involve anything in the bedroom? For the first time in her life, Audra's in a positive and healthy relationship. She and Nate Hastings are good together and good for each other. Audra seems adamant that she can accomplish her goal and score a new cosmetics company without getting her hands dirty. Could she have a plan up her sleeve that not only shocks Victor, but fans too? Audra is a smart cookie who knows how to manipulate people. Will she go another route? During the Thursday, May 15 episode, Audra seemed to make some progress with Kyle and this plan. Sure, she did use a little seduction, and fans can tell that Kyle is still very attracted to her. But in the end, will she trap him into doing something other than cheating to get Claire to break up with him? Cheating almost feels too easy. Claire might see right through a plan of that sort. Audra touted having an innovative new cosmetic product while at Crimson, and Kyle believes that if he can trick her and get closer to her, she'll divulge her secret. How naive and egotistical, right? Especially since Audra. Still, what if Audra traps Kyle into committing a crime? Or gets him to agree on a sneaky plan to hurt Victor or Newman Enterprises? Then again, what if she sets him up in a situation where it looks like he attempted to sexually assault her? This would not only earn her sympathy from Nate and others, but also destroy Kyler. She may use her flirty nature and charm to suck him in, and then show Claire how terrible of a boyfriend he is. Without jumping into bed with him, the Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, May 19, 2025. Fans can expect Billy Abbott to interrogate Amanda Sinclair. Damien Kane and Lily Winters talk about their trust issues. Plus, Phyllis Summers calls in a favor. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Fans already know that Amanda has come back to Genoa City. In a surprising twist, it turns out that Aristotle Dumas is Amanda's client. The lawyer is representing Dumas' interests and claims he is trying to protect Winters, not steal the company away. However, Devin Winters and Nate Hastings are right to question Amanda's claims. If that were true, why all the secrecy and mystery? Amanda had already met up with Lily, Nate, and Devin about Dumas. When Monday's episode rolls around, fans can expect Amanda to meet with Billy as well. However, Billy will demand answers from Amanda. While Amanda claims Dumas is protecting Winters, what will she say to Billy about Abbott Communications and Chancellor? The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next episode reveal that Phyllis will call in a favor. With Amanda confronting Red about reaching out to Dumas, what will Phyllis tell her old friend? There is only so much intel that Amanda can tell Phyllis because of client confidentiality. At the same time, maybe Amanda is being deceived by her own client. Is Amanda who Phyllis calls in a favor to, or could it be someone else? How will it change the outcome? Michelle Stafford shared a playful moment with the late Christoph St. John that had fans in their feels. Michelle Stafford unearthed a video that made fans emotional. The Young and the Restless star shared the moment she joined the late Christoph St. John on the red carpet. The two sizzled on and off the small screen, and it's wonderful to see their love and adoration for one another. On Thursday, May 15, Stafford posted an old clip on Instagram in honor of Throwback Thursday. With her dark hair, she looked remarkably different. In the 2012 interview, she was asked who she would marry, befriend, and kill. Stafford responded, "I would marry Neil," she said as she pointed to him. He came over and wrapped his arm around her as he said, "I would marry you." Then, St. John nuzzled Stafford's neck. He didn't want to let go. The host explained, "We're having some young and restless love on the red carpet here." St. John said, "I would make love to you right now." Stafford got flustered and couldn't answer the rest of the questions. She said, "He's very handsome and very sexy. I mean, really? Now, why and our fans get to watch this throwback." Stafford captioned the post, "Came across this from 2012. Oh man, how we miss him. Hashtager. It's heartbreaking to watch." St. John was loved not only by the cast, but also by the fan base. Meanwhile, fans took to the comment section to react. Most of them thanked Stafford for sharing this sweet and candid moment. Others agreed that St. John is very much missed to this day. One user wrote, "Yes, he is missed, so glad the show designed the jazz lounge for him." Another heartbroken fan commented, "I loved him. Miss him so much. I'm still sad for what he went through." There were also some fans who stopped watching the show because of his storyline. A third user noted, "Yes, he is missed, and a big part as to why I stopped watching the show. I check in every now and then, but I miss the dynamics of the Winters family. We would love to see more of the Winters family on Y and R as well. Amanda's whole Dumas drama has us on the edge of our seats." Amanda Sinclair waltzed back into Genoa City on the Friday, May 16 episode of Young and the Restless, but her surprise reappearance is raising more questions than answers. Devin, Lily, and Nate expected to meet the elusive billionaire Aristotle Dumas. Instead, they got Amanda, armed with a confident smile and a wave of unsettling mystery. From the moment Amanda stepped into that meeting, something felt off. Her polished demeanor didn't match the cloud of suspicion swirling around her. Sure, she claims to be Dumas's representative, but is she really just a mouthpiece, or is she covering for someone far more dangerous? And that's where the wildest theory comes in. What if Dumas is none other than Kane Ashby? Think about it. Kane has always had a knack for deception, and his mysterious disappearances and reappearances in Genoa City left plenty of unanswered questions. What if, after his last exit, Kane reinvented himself as Aristotle Dumas? With a grudge against Devin and a desire to reclaim his own power, it wouldn't be a stretch for Kane to use a new identity to manipulate Chancellor Winters. Amanda's presence could be part of Kane's plan, a way to keep tabs on Devin, Lily, and Nate without directly involving himself. Her reluctance to share details about Dumas could be because she's trying to protect Kane, or because she's in on it. Then there's Dumas's supposed interest in Lily and his link to Billy's downfall. Lily was once at the heart of Kane's world, and watching her succeed without him could fuel his desire for revenge. Could Kane be using Dumas to keep tabs on her while orchestrating chaos in Billy's life? Devin, Lily, and Nate are scrambling for answers, but are they looking in the wrong direction? If Kane really is Dumas, they could be facing a betrayal closer to home than they ever imagined. Amanda's return has opened a Pandora's box of speculation, and if Kane is pulling the strings, Genoa City is in for a wild ride. Meanwhile, Michael receives a dire warning from Victor. The Young and the Restless spoilers for May 19 to 23 focus on a surprised Nikki, while Michael receives a dire warning, and Amanda feels the heat thanks to Billy Boy Abbott. Look for a lot of action next week to involve some of Genoa City's A-list, namely Amanda, Abby, and Audra. Early in the week, Billy grills Amanda for intel. Obviously, this will have to do with Dumas. Billy must want to find out what Dumas' motives are. After all, he was feeling special because Dumas took an interest in him. But he really shouldn't feel so positive about being on Aristotle's radar. What answers will Amanda give him in response? Will she provide any clues as to Dumas' true identity? Meanwhile, Abby is bothered by Amanda's return. Why should Abby be annoyed by Amanda's presence? Just because she used to be hot and heavy with Devon. The fact that Devon and Abby cheated on Amanda and Chance might weigh on her mind as well. Abby did Amanda wrong, which means Abby could be on Amanda's bad side, and being on Amanda's bad side isn't a good thing. Look for Audra to feel the heat just as much as Amanda. When Audra is forced to defend her actions, this could be about her being in cahoots with Victor. He's bankrolling her company as long as she does her part. Her part is to cause trouble and even break up Kyle and Claire. Michael and Lauren's marriage is going through a bumpy phase. She hates that he continues to answer to Victor, and he won't do anything about it. As a result, he's constantly having to do things that put him in the middle of a hotbed of drama and destruction. Next week, Michael distracts Lauren from their problems. 1. Does he go the romantic route? And 2. Will the distraction work? Because Lauren does have a one-track kind of mind. Later, Victor does what he always does, and he gives Michael a dire warning. Michael thinks he's the one person, other than Nikki, who can act as Victor's protector, someone who can prevent the man from going too far. But since when can anybody stop Victor from going too far? This warning may be about controlling Michael and getting him to do what he wants him to do. In addition, all of this drama and turmoil will affect Michael's closest relationship. Lauren suddenly worries about her marriage, so she must think that at some point, she can't stick around if he puts Victor ahead of everybody else in his life. Speaking of Victor, when he's not unleashing dire warnings or attempting to control every aspect of Genoa City life, he's doing something nice for his wife. Victor surprises Nikki with a romantic evening. Elsewhere, Damien accepts an intriguing offer. Does Lily's double agent plan get off to a strong start here? Maybe this intriguing offer comes as an invitation from Aristotle Dumas, or someone who works for the man like Amanda. Finally, next week brings a world of worry for Diane. First, Diane worries about Kyle's decision-making. She should, because even though she tells him to stay away from mixing it up with Audra, he's going to do it anyway. And second, Jack helps Diane find her place with the Abbotts. How does he do that? Wasn't that what the Abbott Mansion refresh was all about? Tessa finds herself in a relationship predicament on The Young and the Restless. Her marriage to Mariah is in crisis, leading Tessa to lean on Daniel for support. So could Daniel's comfort spark an affair between him and Tessa? Kate Fairbanks offered a hint at what's in store for the two pals. Tessa has gained a new friend in Daniel. The two have bonded as Tessa helps Daniel with his music career. Yet their friendship comes at a bad time. Tessa and Mariah's marriage is on the rocks. Distance is growing between the couple as Mariah keeps a dark secret from her wife. With Taraya's relationship in trouble and Tessa growing closer to Daniel, it seems a Tessa and Daniel affair is in the works. In an interview with Soap Opera Digest, Fairbanks discussed the dynamic between Tessa and Daniel. I think their connection is growing in a really fun way. And I think, especially with two people struggling, it can be so helpful to have friends that are there for each other, she explained. They're not going through the exact same thing, obviously, but they've both had a lot of intense things happen to them in a pretty short period of time, so they definitely understand each other. As for whether fans will see the beginning of a Dessa romance, Faybinks is coy on that topic. Right now, they're definitely friends and connecting and supporting each other through this time. I think Tessa is so distracted by pain and confusion, so she's really just focused on that right now.